One of those nights. Well, let's get the Skycam off the air. Well, so welcome. I know it's been a crazy afternoon. Go figure. I had a plan to go live tonight and actually remembered something at the last second, but thank you so much for joining me. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Productions Studios and got a hair in my teleprompter. We are live, believe it or not. They are actually still working on my internet. Literally, my internet provider is over on a building right now. They just got a signal. He texted me at about 1 minute to 4 o'clock. I was getting ready to cancel tonight's live stream, but I figured if the internet came on, we would start 7 minutes late, play the intro reel, which we did, and I am here. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's see. I don't even know if I have chat ready to go here. Let's just see what happens. Let's go. And let's put chat on the air. There you go. Even have chat working. So Grish was here really early. Doug popped in. Hank said hi. Hank, it's his birthday, so happy birthday, Hank. Hank from Stop and Think is out tonight. I don't think he's with us tonight, but he sent this comment earlier. It says that he is celebrating his 89th birthday. That's amazing. If you haven't met Hank, then come to one of our quarterly Zoom nights where we're all on Zoom face to face. We're not live, but well, we're live with each other, but we're not live on the internet. Zoom gives us the opportunity to be face to face. You guys get to see each other. I get to see your faces instead of just your chat. So it's quite a bit of fun. Hank usually comes, and so he's got a great story. So thank you so much, Hank, for stopping by. If you watch this delayed, Doug said, sorry about the hardware issues. Keith, are you holding out for later or rescheduling? Well, I don't know if Doug's still here, but I was getting ready to reschedule. I put a post up in response to Doug's comment, and I was going to pull the plug, but we are going to go live. Now, let me just let you know up front, I am going to be leaving this studio, even though it'll be still on the air, and I'm going to be going to another studio where I have my ATEM Mini. I'm going to go live to Facebook from there. I've already posted the link to Facebook here tonight, and I will grab it again. Let's see. I thought it was in here. I do not see it, so I will grab that right now. Where is it? Stream, viewer, comments, live tab. This should get everybody into the live. Let's see. Do I have chat? There we go. So that link I just popped in there is going to get you to my Facebook page. So at 4:30, we're going to go over into the other room. I'm going to put a different mic on. I'm going to go live. You will not see me in the screen. So this screen is just going to sit here. I'm going to be in another room, Facebook Live, for just a few minutes. And I'm going to come back in here because what we're doing tonight is we're doing some pretty interesting stuff. Let me finish saying hi here, and then I will walk you through tonight's live stream. Should be a lot of fun. It's good to have Chio in the house. First time in a long time. Yeah, it's good to have you, Chio Walker, back. David, it's good to have you as well from down under. Chris says, waiting for Facebook link. So yeah, there is the Facebook link right there. And so you need to, if you want to chat with me over there, you're going to need to pop over to Facebook and go ahead and like the page, because I've enabled comments only for people who, actually, I think you only have to have a channel for 2 weeks, and then you'll be able to comment with me. And I haven't been live on Facebook for a long time, so let's just hope that works. I do have Facebook up here, and we're going to kind of try to go ahead and launch my ATEM Mini Pro from this studio. Then I'm going to walk into the other studio, fire up the camera, and you guys will be able to see me there. And the reason we're going to do this, I will share in just a minute. Let me see if there's anybody else here I need to say hi to. Let me get my phone out here because it was going to help me keep track of Facebook tonight. So I do have Facebook open. And let me open the YouTube channel here as well. I apologize for this. I'm a little behind because I had no internet. So there's certain things I can do with my iPhone as a hotspot. That's how I got ready today. That's how I posted today's live stream. But I do not have enough cell power to go live. So we are live now. And let's go ahead and hit record. So we are now recording, and this week we're only doing 6 megabytes a second. Last week we were doing up to 8, so I'm not sure what the difference is, but this is more what it's supposed to average. So I'm excited that it's not wigging out this week. And I'm still streaming high. So I did not change my streaming settings, even though I'm on my ATEM Mini Pro. When we go to Facebook, I am going to be streaming medium because Facebook isn't high def anyway, 1080p. It's 720p if I remember right, unless they've changed that. But okay, so it says I am live, 720p, and we got good sound. Let's see. Chat on the air. So it's good to have you, Nat from the UK. So thank you for joining us. We had a little bit of technical issues tonight. Literally, my internet's been down since about 1:30 a.m. my time. So we're on the in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest. We're on Pacific Daylight Time. So it is 4 o'clock. Well, we're at 4:20 right now. And we are going to go over to Facebook and go live at 4:30. So we'll do that here. But welcome, Nat from the UK. It's good to have you. We will say hi to anybody else that pops on here. So I wanted to just give you guys a quick run through here. So let me change cameras here on my desktop. That's the right one. Turn it on. Okay, let's hit that one more time. See if I can adjust this. Please stand by. Well, it's not perfect, but we're going to go ahead and use this. Let's cut to my PC here. So right here, apologize for the microphone. Let's move this out of the way and change mics. Check. So we'll try to get this as far out of the way as we can. My Skycam is supposed to be in a better adjustment here, but right now it's giving me fits. See if I can adjust this a little. Nope. It is not letting me make any adjustments. Let me try this one more time. Okay, I will just adjust the camera real quick. Okay, so what I'm doing here, let's bring me in real quickly here. See if I have me and overhead cam. There we go. So what I have here is obviously my Logi keyboard, but this is my streaming ATEM tonight. This is an Extreme ISO. This is the one that I replaced. It's working great and passed all my tests. And I did a 2.5-hour recording on it, so it seems to be fine, even though I noticed last week my recording had stopped. And then this one, I am sending the program to you can see it's on the air. So this one's on the air and recording, and this one's on the air because this is streaming to my streaming bridge. So in another part of my house, actually where I originally started streaming from, which is in our bedroom, I have my ATEM Mini Pro. Notice it's not here on my desk. Usually it sits right here, and it is not here. I do have my light meter we're going to talk about a little bit later tonight. Got my bag glasses. We'll set those out of the way. So this is sitting the program out to channel 1. And you can't quite see it, but channel 1 is lit up right here. And I have the microphone on, and the program out of this is literally streaming to my streaming bridge. So if I go up here to the control software, and let's change ATEMS here real quick. You can see I am streaming to my streaming bridge. So we'll just turn that back off because I do have it streaming. So let's go me and overhead cam. So this is streaming to my streaming bridge in the other room, which is plugged into my ATEM Mini Pro, and this is streaming to YouTube. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the program from this into channel 1 on this. This one is streaming to my streaming bridge. So we're using 1, 2, and in the other room, 3 ATEMs. Now I can't show you that one because that one's only going to be able to be seen when I get in there, and I'm going to take my remote phone so you guys can see the setup in there. But my streaming bridge is in the other room. I have a monitor in the other room. It is hooked up to my network. It is ready to go live on Facebook. And so hopefully it's going to work and go live on Facebook. The link is now in the description, so you guys will be able to go with me. So we're streaming from Stream Deck 1 to YouTube, which is what you guys are seeing right now if you're watching me on YouTube. And then we are streaming that program out to the YouTube, but it's also being fed into my Extreme ISO number 2. I'm not ISO recording on this one, but I could turn ISO recording on this. I do not have a disc plugged in, but you can see I have a disc right here plugged in, and this is what normally plugs into my ATEM Mini Pro. And so my network port is sitting here, and the HDMI cable is sitting here. So I'm able to stream from this one to my streaming bridge, which again is on my network in the other house. And then in that room, I have that ATEM Mini receiving the HDMI signal from the streaming bridge. I also have my Canon 5D Mark III in there, so you guys will be able to see a camera image of me and not just what's programmed from this room. So I am going to leave the main screen up and go in there here momentarily. We still have 5 minutes before we're going to go live on Facebook from my ATEM Mini Pro, and I will then move to the other room if everything goes live correctly. And I haven't been able to test this, so I've set up Facebook. It's advertised on there. Let me go in and change my comment to say that we are going to go live. So let me delete that. And we will be live at 4:30. If all goes well, my Internet is working. Okay. So, move this microphone back over here. Switch back over so you guys can hear me through the SM7B. So again, 2 ATEMs in here and 1 ATEM in the other room. Now, why am I doing this? Because I've never streamed from my studio or this house on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time. Now, if I wanted to do that and show everybody the same thing you guys are seeing, then I would have just kept everything set up in here. But I thought it would be really cool to send the signal from this studio into the other part of the house, have a camera in there, and do a separate little set and stream to Facebook. And so anybody that's here is not going to hear that. I guess I could take my microphone with me, but it would just confuse everybody. But we're going to go to that room here in just a few seconds. But I want to see if anybody else has popped in the chat before we do that. Just letting my internet guy know that I'm live. So good to Mark and his company PETA for getting this up and running for me at 1 minute to 4 o'clock so that I could go live. So again, I've never gone live, and there's software out there that you can use to do that, like Restream.io, and there's other software, but I've never streamed from my studio to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So that's what we're doing tonight for the very first time. Even though it won't be the same stream, I'll be able to send the feed from this studio to live, because this feed is going to the ATEM Mini Pro, and then I have a camera in the room, my Canon 5D Mark III as my camera 1. What you're seeing right now, which will just be me not in the chair behind me, that will be camera number 2 on the ATEM Mini Pro in the bedroom. And then I will take my adapter and my iPhone with me and give you guys kind of a look at the set in there. And I have the adapter here. I'm going to grab it. I have my DJI mic kit set up in there. And so the microphone is sitting there. It's all hooked up and ready to go. I didn't want it in here, so you guys would be hearing that on Facebook once it went live. So I'm gonna leave this microphone, go in there, and pick up a microphone and talk to you on Facebook. And then I'm gonna end that Facebook stream after a few minutes. And we talk and show that bedroom studio, which is where I originally live streamed from years ago. So it should be lots and lots of fun. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Chat on the air. Got to change this real quick. Let's see. Gary says, hi, Keith. Hi, everyone. Almost forgot. Well, I'm glad you're back, Gary, because I got my internet working right before it was time to give up at 1 minute till 4 o'clock, but we are live. So Gris says, hello from Snake River. Thank you for joining me. Sounds like you may be on a little break, vacation. I think I've hit everybody else's text. We don't have a ton of people here tonight, but that's perfectly fine. It is time to try to go live right now on Facebook. So let me go up here and let me go into my ATEM control software, switch over, connections, ATEM Mini Pro. And let's try to go on the air. It says it's streaming. Go on my Facebook page. Yep, says I'm streaming. I don't know if it's live on Facebook yet. So been a long time since I did that. So let's see, is there a place here to say go live? Yep, go live now. So we're going to hit that in just a second. So I'm going to make the transition right now. I'm going to mute this microphone. And I'm going to hit go live on Facebook. The link is in the description. Please take a moment to pop over on Facebook. And I'm going to hit go live now. And it's actually getting this feed. So it looks like they're going to be able to continue to see this feed. But I'm not going to be in here. So keep that in mind. And then I will pop on the screen, full screen over in there. So let's hit go live. So now I'm streaming in 2 locations. So I'm going to mute this mic, get up. So go over and see me on Facebook. Okay. So here we go. Well, there you go. Hopefully, if you are on live on this channel and you didn't pop over to Facebook, you didn't fall asleep, because there was nothing happening in this studio. I was in Studio B, my old bedroom, and I went live from there. Let me hook this up. And let's go over to Facebook. Okay, it ended on Facebook. I set it to not post it on Facebook, so I think we're good, but let me put the YouTube video link over there. Real quick before we leave here and talk about something else. Okay, where is the link here? Manage videos, live. Just want to pop this into Facebook. So there is a link over on Facebook now, popping up. And so that was just a test. I do want to start streaming on Facebook with the YouTube channel at the same time. So I hope you guys will join me for that, maybe on Facebook, maybe on YouTube, but I appreciate you guys being with me tonight. Let's see if anybody else jumped on. Let's get chat enabled here. Chat on the air. David says, let's push the boundaries. Yeah, I sure did. Gris says he is indeed on vacation. That's awesome. David said he couldn't see me yet. He is on Facebook now. Yeah. So I was only on Facebook. Chio followed that. Again, I could have kept everything in here. I could have used my Extreme #2 instead of streaming to my streaming bridge. I'll show you guys a close up of this right now. So let's see, streaming bridge. I need to bring into my screen here. So let me change something here real quick. ATEMS is off, connections. Gonna go Extreme ISO #2. And I'm gonna show you guys this real quick. Me and my laptop. I'm gonna go off the air to my streaming bridge. And back to me and the logo. And I'm going to go to the outputs and choose my streaming bridge. Let's see, that's output 2. Let's go to, did I do this right? Output 2. Output 1 is program. Output 2, my streaming bridge. There we go. Okay, so let's cut to this channel right here, channel 4, and you can see that I'm recording and I'm on the air, but now I'm no longer on the air on this to my streaming bridge. I could have gone on the air right here to Facebook because I am now feeding my program out right here. So I could go live from here, but I wanted to go live on Facebook from the other room. I thought that would be a cool challenge for tonight using the streaming bridge. And the streaming bridge is a great tool. I did do the firmware update today. There is a firmware update to the streaming bridge. It adds some extra features, and we will look at that at another live in the future where I'll show you guys some of the new features in the streaming bridge. The way you get to those features is you've got to not only have the streaming bridge hooked up to your network, but you also got to hook up a USB-C cable to it, and then it's detected just like your other ATEMs. So if I go right here, if I wanted to connect, if I wanted to connect to my streaming bridge under ATEMS setup, move this to the right screen, then right now you can see I have 3 ATEMs, but one of the things that would appear here if my streaming bridge in the other room was hooked up to a computer via USB-C, I would be able to then see it right here. And if I clicked on this button right there, it would let me know what the settings are. I could copy those settings into one of my ATEMs if I want to stream to the streaming bridge. It makes an XML file that I can then open up and save right up here. And I'll show you guys that in a second. So you can go in here, when you click on this icon button right here under the streaming bridge, if it needs a firmware update, just like all the other devices, it will ask you to do a firmware update, and that's what I did today. So it is updated firmware. It worked fine before the firmware update, but now obviously there are some new features in the streaming bridge, which we will take a look at in the near future. So microphones I used tonight, I used my Wireless Go 2, which is working right now. I use almost every week. And then I used my mic kit, which is in the other studio in the bedroom, and it's still plugged into the ATEM Mini Pro there. And I used one of the 2 receivers. Now that's the DJI mic kit number 1. So if we go to the great internet, this is the original kit. You can pick it up now for $233. There is a number 2 kit, so it's got better microphones, but I still have the kit number 1. And what I like about it is that it can plug on a USB-C phone or a Lightning phone. It's got an adapter that's right behind the receiver, which is in the middle. So right here behind that is a little attachment. You can see it in this picture, these little attachments right here. There's a Lightning and a regular one. My mouse doesn't show up over that picture. Yeah, it does. So these are the Lightning and the USB-C adapter. And then I was using this cable to plug in the back of the ATEM. And I had my receiver plugged in. It's got a little 3.5 jack on the side. And then I had one of these microphones on. And then in this studio, I use this kit. I actually bought this kit, which is the Wireless Go 2, and then I added another one, and then I bought the case. So here they are. So I bought the case separate. I bought an extra one of these transmitters separate, but you can buy the new Pro version and get the case, or you can buy the Wireless Go 2. What I love about these is that you can connect them directly to the Rodecaster Pro version 2. So I can have one of these in channel 1, one of these in channel 2 if I wanted to, or one of these in channel 3 and one of these in channel 4. But you can only do 2 of them. So the Rodecaster Pro 2 has a built-in receiver. So I don't have to use, when I'm in here What just happened? What happened here? There we go. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. One of my keys took over the screen. So let's go back here again. So two of these, you could buy two of these, or you could buy the kit with a wireless transmitter and well, this is the transmitter, this is the receiver. And so when you're using your camera remotely, you would be able to have a wireless microphone and then have the transmitter plugged in. And like you see here, you can get this kit, or you could get all three of those and use them. So it's nice to have wireless options for in the studio. So if I need to get up real quickly and turn this microphone off, I can just simply enable this microphone and get up and walk around. And now I still have audio, which is great when I want to do something else or show you guys something on my desk and not have this microphone in my way. It's nice just to slide it out of the way like that. And sometimes I use this in consulting. Usually put it up here if I'm going to use it for consulting. So again, it's a good hands-free microphone, and this is attached directly to the Rodecaster Pro version 2, and I'm going to show you guys that right now. So if you go into channel 2, you can see I've chosen the Rodecaster Pro transmitter, and I can choose the other microphones if I have an XLR plugged in. But if I want to have this wireless mic, all I got to do is choose that, and then I would hit pair. I'd have to unpair it now if I wanted to use it with my receiver. But right now it is paired, and you can see the level right there. And then obviously that's my gain level, all the effects that I can add to it. And then I have my fader level and then my master fader going to the live stream, which is seen right there. And it has to be cranked in order for me to have enough volume going to my ATEM Mini Pro, or actually Extreme ISO. So that's how this connects directly. So I love the ability for the Rodecaster Pro to take different signals in like this. I can have my SM7B, simply unmute it, mute my wireless microphone, and here I am back on my studio mic. This is a dynamic microphone. It's not a condenser microphone, so it does not need phantom power, but it's a great microphone. It's very directional. It's got kind of a filter on the side of it underneath this pop filter to keep it from picking up audio from the side. So it's a really good microphone in a house like this where there might be noise coming down the hallway. You guys probably would not hear it, where if I enable this microphone, this one's going to pick up a lot more room noise. It's less directional. It's omnidirectional. So it's going to pick up all the noise in here all around me, except for what's behind me. And this microphone is a lot better at being very directional, and you want to get it pretty close to your mouth, like it is right there. And so again, so that is me using 3 ATEMs, 2 Extremes, 1 ATEM Mini Pro, and the 4th device was a streaming bridge. And again, the streaming bridge is the device that you can stream directly from an ATEM or a web presenter directly to it. So you have to choose between streaming to the streaming bridge or streaming online, but it uses the same encoder. And instead of streaming to some online platform, you are streaming to the streaming bridge, and you get a key and an address from the streaming bridge itself. So once you plug it into the network, then there is a place to go into the software where you can copy and paste the file. And once you grab that file, let me show you guys here. Once you grab that file, You're going to load streaming settings right here. So it's under the streaming tab, the very top of your control software, or ATEMS software control. And then you're going to go under stream and you're going to go down to load streaming settings. You click on this. This is going to ask you where that file is. Well, today that file was saved and downloaded under my documents. So if we scroll down here to the bottom, here is the ATEMS Streaming Bridge, Keith, July 15th, 2025 XML. So you click on that and load it right now, then that would then be one of the options available as a location where I could stream. And right now you can see this is the streaming bridge right here. I have a Keith 1 and a ATEMS Streaming Bridge TV, but this is the one I use today. And then I have to copy and paste in the key because I enabled the key and I change it every time I use my streaming bridge. And I do not keep my streaming bridge live unless I'm using it. So no one could get my key and stream to it because it's not enabled right now. And if it was on right now, it would just be going to an ATEM that's not on the air in the other room. So again, you put your key in here, you stream to default for the streaming bridge, but you get the address by going up here. And after you save it from the streaming bridge to your documents, then you can name it too, so you can find it easy. Then you go right here to stream, load streaming settings, you locate the file, and again, my file is right here, and then you would open it. And because I'm in my ISO number 2, I could open this right now and it would reinsert the key. But again, I'm done using that key and done using that particular XML file. So I'll just delete it after we get off the air tonight. So, okay. Let's look at the chat, see if anybody else has joined me. I've lost everybody. Say hi in the chat if you're still with me. It is just a little bit after 5. If no one's still on with me, I won't go over this little device, but I did want to take a little bit of time and talk about one of my favorite tools for photography and videography, and that is my Sekonic LiteMaster. This is a model number L-478DR. This also will operate and send a signal to my Pocket Wizards. If you don't know what a Pocket Wizard is, I'll show you here real quick what they are. Here's one example right here. I have these right here, so they go on top of your flashes. I also have them for Einstein by Paul C. Buff. They're a different type transmitter, and so I can be testing my flashes, my Einstein lights, or these on my Canon flashes with this device. So it's pretty powerful because not only can I turn this on and I can either do more of a spot type meter. So this is like turned in so it doesn't get all the light all the way around it. And then if I turn it out, it comes out like a dome, and this would get all of the light. So imagine everything that little thing can see. And then when you go like this and bring it in, it's inset a tiny bit. So that only sees the light that can be seen inside of that. And then I also have, and again, this is to take a light reading. So I can take this device right here and I can put my spot meter on instead. Now this one's like a little telescope, so it's going to take a reading of far away, So if I was using my Canon 70 to 200 lens and I wanted to get a quick reading, I could pick this up, peek through this little device, and again, it just pops off like this. So this piece comes out. That piece goes in, and now I can look through and get a spot, just a spot. So you peek through this side, and so you could turn this either way, and you're going to get a spot reading from far away, and that's what the spot meter does. So I have the dome meter or the spot meter, and again, this whole device is designed to read light. So if you want to know what the exposure is on your face, just on this side of your face, you could turn it in like that. If you wanted to know what all the light is on that side of the room, you would open it up like this, and then you would simply hit this button right here. It's the measure button, and I would measure it. So let's put it on my face. Right now it's at 2997 frames per second, ISO 800, and I've preset it. And then I'm going to take a reading. And it says in this room right now, I should have my camera aperture set to 5.0. So you can preset your ISO, preset your frames per second if you're shooting video, and then find out what you should have your aperture set at. You can also get out of this mode and go more into a flash setting. So I have all of these settings. I got this setting right there for HD video, but I have all these different settings. So I have it for electronic flashes. I have it for pocket wizards. I have all of these different settings in this light meter, and the light meter is designed to give me accurate measurements of light in the room. So if I want to set my aperture and then find out what I need to have my shutter speed at, I can do it that way. But right now I have it set so I can set my shutter speed, and I can set my frame rate and my ISO, and then it'll change it. So what if I want to drop right now down to ISO, let's say 200. I'm going to tap down to 200. And now it says I should have my aperture set at 2.5. So again, I have to have a lens that will go down to 2.5. So, and I have a lot of prime lenses that will go down below 2.8, and I have some lenses that will only go down to 2.8. So if I wanted to have the lowest ISO for 2.8, I would have to set my ISO for 250, my shutter speed at 1/60th of a second, and I'd have to have my frame rate at 2997, and then I would have a good exposure at 2.8. But what about this side of my face? That side of my face says I need to have an aperture of 2.2. So you can see there's a difference in the light on that side of my face and on this side of my face. What about this side? 2.2. What if I turn it more into a typical, like, more narrow beam? Let's try it over here now. 1.6. So it's basically saying if I narrow it down and I just want to have a perfect exposure right there, then I need to be an aperture of 1.6. So again, the light meter lets me know if my hair light is correct. Let's check my hair light right now. Let's measure it. It's right above my head. It says I need to be, if I was shooting the top of my head, to have perfect exposure, I need to be at 2.2. But I really want my hair light at a higher exposure than the light coming on the front of my face. So let's do that. Let's measure. So that says I should be at perfect exposure, should be 3.6. So let's check my lens. I have it a little wide. It's a little dark. I have a little wider than that. So it is saying that this is perfect exposure. I'm at 2.8 right now. This lens will not go below 2.8, but it's saying that this is a better exposure. Now, again, I have ISO set at auto. So let's now set the ISO. So I am at 2.8. So we're going to change this. I would need to have my ISO at about 1/60th. So let's try this. So that is at 200. Let's see if we can get that sucker to focus. There we go. And now at 200, let me change this. Let's take a reading here. Says I should be at 3.2. And so again, I have the sunlight behind me. So I'm going to turn this back to auto. Turn this back to where I like to keep it. And again, that would be for fine tuning on a set. You wouldn't have any window light coming in. I have lights all the way around you, but that's what a light meter is for. Again, if I want to get more particular, like if I'm doing a landscape photograph and I want to find out exactly what the perfect exposure is on those roses, let's take a spot meter of my Seahawk clock, and it says 2.8 would be a perfect exposure at ISO 200, 2997 frames per second at 1/60th of a second frame rate. That's our shutter. That's what I would want to shoot the Seahawk clock with right now. So let me change this back. See, what am I at right now? I'm on auto ISO, so I can't tell. But right now I'm at 5.6. And it says my ISO should be at 800 in this room if I want to be at 5.6, and that's what I have my aperture set at. So a light meter is designed to read the different light in the room. So if you want to do landscape, you'd want to have a spot meter, or just wanted to see what that light in the back of the set, how bright it is, you'd be able to check it with this light meter and see how bright it is compared to your main light. So if your key light was at one setting of brightness and you wanted to see what that light was coming through the window, then you could use a spot meter like this. Or you can go back to the dome and close it down as far as it will go in, and then shoot that area, and you're going to get a more broader reading. Further away it is, the more a broader reading you're going to get. But if you're doing the side of a face and you want to get more of just the light on that side of my face, you would put it in. If you want to get more of a general room light on that side of my face, you would put the dome out. And you can actually, it only has a click all the way out or click all the way in, but I've actually used it partially in and partially out. So light meters are pretty cool because they help take out some of the guessing game on what the light is on the room. So if I have 1/60th of a second and I want to shoot at 24 frames per second, I could go up here right now and change it to 24 frames per second. And then I could take a reading now in this room on my face. So let's take a reading. And it says I should be at 6.3 if I'm going to be at 1/60th of a second, shooting at 24 frames per second. And I really should be shooting at like 1/50th a second, because you always double the frame rate. So if I'm shooting at 24 frames per second, then I really want to have my shutter speed at 50. So that's the 180 shutter rule. So you always kind of want to take whatever you're shooting at frame rate. So if you're going to shoot 60 frames per second, let's change it to 60 frames per second. There it is at 60 frames per second. Up here, really tiny. Above that, I'm at 800 ISO. So if I was at 800 ISO, or if I was shooting with old film with 800 ISO, and I was shooting at 60 frames per second on my film, and so now I want to go 1/20th of a second. Again, so you double it, I should be at f4.5. So that's what I would set my aperture at. So again, what a great tool to have a light meter like this to take all the guessing out. So if you need to do more than one reading, you can set memory, you can calibrate this, you can also use it with other tools. It makes a great, great addition to your kit, and there's lots of different devices that you can use as light meters, and you can even buy an attachment for your iPhone now and download an app and then buy an attachment like this dome to plug right in your iPhone or your Google phone, and you don't have to buy a light meter anymore. But these are really nice. This Sekonic LiteMaster Pro, let's change mics here. It is $427 on eBay for this model. You can see it right here, L478DR. So they're not inexpensive in any sense, but they are a great tool if you want to get serious into portrait photography or live video production where you're going to have multiple lights and you want to have your key light at one level, then you want your fill light at another level, and then you want even a brighter separation light or a hair light, whatever you call it. And then you could use a light meter like this to get them set perfectly. Obviously, you would want your aperture set for the exposure in the front of the person. And then you would want this light, the fill light, to be a little bit less bright. And you want your hair light to be a little brighter to create that halo effect. But the light meter is going to get your key light set. And then you want to make sure that the hair light is brighter and the fill light is not as bright. And you can use a light meter like that to set those lights. Or if you want to do some really good landscape and have perfect exposure for the sky, perfect exposure for the moon, perfect exposure for the plants in front of the house, whatever you're shooting, then you could use a spot meter like this. If you're taking multiple shots, right, without a flash, and then you want to combine them later in Photoshop, this is a great tool. You could even take this inside a house, and obviously you need some flashes inside a house, but you could take this tool in and do multiple exposures, set your camera for the cabinets, have a perfect exposure on the cabinets, perfect exposure on the windows looking outside, perfect exposure on the countertops. But if you want to fill all the shadows, you need to use flashes. And again, you can use a Sekonic light meter with Pocket Wizards. You can also get one that works with other brands, and then this will automatically let you fire those flashes and take a reading, which is really cool. So when a flash fires, it changes the light, so you need to be able to flash it with this and get a perfect reading. And so this will work with Pocket Wizards, which is really cool. So I have some Palsy Buff Einstein lights. I have some Canon flashes, and I have Pocket Wizards that fit my Canon flashes, and I have plug-in Pocket Wizards that plug into my Einsteins. So let me show you those real quick. So this is what a Paul C. Buff Einstein light looks like. And this is the pocket wizard that plugs in to the top of that Einstein light. So they plug into the top, and then you can actually communicate with them and fire those flashes from this tool. So this becomes my flash controller, and I can also see what brightness settings are on those. So really cool. Either way, if you're going to go pocket wizards for a Canon flash or pocket wizards for something like a Paul C. Buff Einstein light, again, these light meters are pretty powerful for that. So that's all I have tonight, guys. Let's say hi to some of the people I see who have popped in the chat. Red carpet. Let's see. Why is this not on? Chat on the air. Red carpet marketing. Hi. Hank is back. Just got back from his birthday dinner. It's good to have you, Hank. Let's see. What do we have on here? We have some devices taking over here. Oh, I turned Skycam on. Skycam off. So Hank is back. Jura says, hi, Gary, I'm still here. Thank you for letting me know. I had the light meter. It's great. So David has that same light meter. That's awesome. David is a very accomplished photographer, really way better photographer than I am, and love his photography channel. Cool. Meter link in video later. Meter link in video. Okay. Good to have you here, Tony. Yeah, you can catch it. We didn't even know if we were going to go live, Tony, but we did go live. I got internet at 1 minute till 4. So I decided to go live. We actually went live on Facebook. For a short period of time, that video is no longer up on Facebook, but I did go live, and some of the guys here were able to jump on and see me streaming live to Facebook from my ATEM Mini Pro from my streaming bridge. So I literally came from this studio and broadcast to my streaming bridge in my old bedroom studio, and it was quite fun. So one of these nights, we will shoot from both places, and I'll have the streaming bridge in this studio going from that studio into here like I've done before. So that was really cool. So again, that's what we did tonight. 2 ATEM minis in here. One of them live to YouTube. The other one streaming to my streaming bridge in the other room. My ATEM Mini Pro in the other room was broadcasting to Facebook. So it was a lot of fun. So we were literally live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, even though there was nothing happening in this studio during that other studio. So it's going to be a weird video for anybody who watches it back. So I hope if you are watching this, you watched it from the very beginning to the very end, because that middle section is I'm probably just going to edit it out because it's not a part of this video. So I may at the end tonight edit out that space in between, but you saw it here. If you were live with me, you got to see it over on Facebook that I literally used 3 ATEMs. One was streaming to YouTube. One was streaming to the other room to a streaming bridge. That streaming bridge was bringing the program into the ATEM Mini Pro. I had a Canon 5D Mark III in the other room, including my iPhone to show you the old studio on Facebook. And the ATEM Mini Pro was live on Facebook tonight. And again, I did not save that video and I did not record that video, so I will probably be editing that portion out. We'll see. So, okay, that's all I have, guys. I hope you enjoyed a little look at the Sekonic light meter, the one designed for pocket wizards, and we talked a little bit about that. I hope you enjoyed how you can use the streaming bridge to go to another room in the house, and how you could also use the ATEM Mini Pro receiving the streaming bridge to go live to another channel. Probably in the future, I will go live in here to YouTube and live in here from my other extreme to Facebook at the same time. So both Facebook and YouTube can see the same thing. And if we are going to use the streaming bridge, then I would go in the other room and broadcast back in here and put that on both Facebook and on YouTube. And hindsight is that's the way to go if you want to have a video stay on Facebook with everything and a video stay on YouTube with everything. So cool. Well, you guys have a good night. I'm glad we were able to go live. It is still recording, which is a good thing. So, and we are still streaming. So the new ATEM Extreme ISO is working out great. The used one that I bought. And if you want to know more about that, that's in last week's video, because I did have to replace my original ATEM Extreme ISO. It was dying. And so it is now in a box in the garage on a shelf. And I found one on Marketplace for $500. So with freight, to me, it was $540, and that is a huge savings. Being right now, if you buy a new ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, you got to pay $14.95 plus tax if you're in a tax state and shipping. So I am very thankful that someone, 4 hours before I looked, the day I decided I was going to look for one, a guy in Boise, Idaho, put his up for sale and then was willing to ship it to me. So thank the good Lord, it worked great. And it arrived because I prepaid him on Venmo. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys had a good night with me. And again, if you are watching this back, I did delete out the Facebook part because it's not on Facebook anymore. You couldn't see it in this room. All you would have saw is this shot right here without me in it. And it's a little bit more exciting with me in it. Have a great week. I'll see you guys very soon here on the channel live.